So thank you for coming. Can you hear me over there? A little louder? I gotta yell louder than this. Yeah, so tonight's the big night before the big day. We're all here for one reason. My son John and my future daughter-in-law, Erin. Hang in there, Erin. Well, you haven't met me yet. I'm Rick Brady, father of the group.
Man.
So tonight is my responsibility to host this party by tradition. By tradition, tomorrow I'm going to be wearing a tuxedo, which is not a good idea. Is anybody else sweating besides me right now? Yeah, so introductions. We have some VIPs. A lot of people from Pittsburgh. The Taylor family might be overwhelming the Brady family. It's all right. We're like a big family. So first and foremost, we need to introduce John's mother. Where's Becky? There she is. Yeah, Becky. Yeah. John's sisters, Michelle, the oldest, and Valerie.
Sorry, I didn't know it was going to be introduced.
And then on my side,
okay, don't get up.
I have my brothers, Bob and Ron. We were very close growing up. It was unavoidable. We were separated by a year at birth. Our mother had us had 3 kids before she was 20, so we were very close. I was so close to Bob that I went on his first date in 1970, and she's still here. She hung out long enough. I was in the front seat, they were in the back seat. My mother was driving. And that's another story, what happened that night. Slash, you must admit that I'm responsible for you getting married. Is that true? My brother Ron, where's Ron? His son Nick, McKenna. Hopefully that'll change. So on the wedding party side, you'll see him tomorrow. There's the best man, Mitch. Where's Mitch? Mitch is John's best friend since they were 2 years old.
Younger.
1.5 for
You're
me.
younger.
Yeah, like
That's right.
zero.
Every
One,
fourth.
zero.
Every fourth. That's our mother's birthday. I'm going to talk about my mother later because she's not here. We have 2 grandparents that are here tonight. I know who they are. That's fine. Where's Mary? All right. Well, at least there's 2 people here older than me. On Erin's side, there's Amanda, the best. I become best woman. It's maid of honor. And then there's all again my daughters are the honors, Michelle and Val. Right. We have other guests. We have Gio, the famous bartender from San Diego, known as the Goat. We have Luke and Cole. Where's Cole? Grant Gilligan's a part of the wedding party. I forgot to mention my grandkids are also in the wedding party. Jackson, Logan, and Clark. Where are they? Raise your hand. You'll see him tomorrow in tuxedo. I met some interesting people tonight. Zach, the movie star. There he is. I see him.
Right? I mean, true.
Yeah. Aaron's brother's here, Andrew. I saw him earlier at the bar. Nice to see him. He came because coming from San Diego to Maine is like visiting a foreign country. Nobody in California thinks that Maine's going to be actually a state. I think we're closer to Iceland than we are to San Diego. I generally get 4 questions about Maine. I bought a house here 25 years ago, so I'm not new to this state. I always get the questions, isn't there snow everywhere all the time? No. I've been asked, have you been chased by a moose? No. Have you been attacked by a bear? No, but Ron had a bear at his house a month ago on his Ring camera. It was pretty funny. And I'm always asked about lobster. They say, yeah, I've had a lobster roll at McDonald's. They think lobsters are like crossing the freeway. Right? So on May 11th, we had a party in San Diego for all of John's friends. Is there an airport here? I didn't see one. I drove down here today for the first time, and it reminded me of when I was a kid. When I was in the Navy, we came back from the Philippines in 1964, and I heard about this. I was a sports kid right out of the gate, and there's a fight between Cassius Clay and Sonny Liston in Miami, 1964. Anybody remember that besides me? A few. Where's Connie and Mary? They were around. Cassius Clay, who's now Muhammad Ali, won the fight, big upset. So there was a big demand for a rematch. And the rematch was in Lewiston, Maine. That didn't make any sense. If you didn't live in Lewiston, you couldn't find it on a map. A lot like coming down to Freiburg. So on May 11th, the party, I gave an analogy story about John, which he's been on a journey the last couple of years. I used a sectariat as an analogy story, Triple Crown. Our parents were big gamblers. We spent a lot of time in Las Vegas when we were kids. It was great though, because they had all-you-can-eat buffets, 3 meals a day. We just loved it. They were also big gamblers. So Del Mar Racetrack. I'm just only saying this so I can explain my mother, who's not here today, who loved John. The joke was we knew how to handicap horses before we could tie our shoes. That's true. So on May 11th, John was a good kid growing up. I didn't really have any stories to tell about him. And I'm saving those for Mitch tomorrow night. He's going to tell all the good John stories. I told a story about a Coke machine that he and a friend tipped it over at school. And there's a difference of opinion about what happened that night. I only know that I got a call from a security guard about it, and it was 10 o'clock at night. John says it was in the daytime. All I knew that when you tip over a Coke machine, I learned how expensive it is. It was a good $2,000. In 2007, John was graduating from high school, senior prom, and the graduation night, and I wanted to look good. It's relevant because tomorrow he's going to wear a tuxedo. So I had a tuxedo then. It was fitted for me personally, very expensive. And against my better judgment, I said, John, I want you to wear my tux tonight. So I never saw that tuxedo again. But no, the thing is, Mitch and Luke were there that night. I want to know.
I wasn't there.
What happened?
I wasn't there.
Wasn't I?
Yeah.
You weren't there?
Likely story.
Promo said
Yeah.
you were, but
The prom?
yeah, but I mean, we don't. I don't
Maybe I was.
So,
We'll talk about that.
No,
Yeah.
we're not going to get the story.
somewhere.
Mitch is a police officer in San Diego. Detective now. He's been promoted. Mitch, you have your handcuffs with you.
I can't say that right now. Maybe. It depends.
I want you to handcuff John to his bed tonight. Because I don't want to go anywhere to potentially screw this thing up tomorrow.
Where is he gonna go?
I don't know. Freiburg. I saw a bar on the way in. Yeah, when John was 15, I told him, you're not going to get married till you're 35. You just had some growing up to do. I just knew it. And he's 35 now, so I clearly begged that. I don't know how I did it. But the problem of that is, of course, there's no grandparents of John's here today. We have Connie and Mary. It's fantastic. I just want to tell a story about my mother, because it was relevant to John. But before that, I have something that my assistant needs to say.
Congratulations, Dawn and Aaron.
She's already been tasked in Yeah, she did that without me asking. I'm paying extra for that. But she's already been cast in the next Barbie 2 movie. She's the cutest girl you'll ever meet. So my mother, she would have loved me today. She loved John, but she was also very hard on John. She was hard on everybody. That's who she was. She didn't take any prisoners. Awful fashion sense. We had the worst clothes. Things didn't get better until Bob started dating Celeste and she worked at the store. What was it?
Did you buy a dress? You love the pink one? You should buy all 7 colors of the same dress.
Yeah. So where do you work? It was like May Company?
Broadway.
Broadway. So Bob's wardrobe got a lot better as a result. And I just go into his closet and take stuff. I didn't even own any Levi's until I could buy them myself. But we grew up in an era where you had to walk to school, no matter how far it was, and no matter what the weather was like. Now, not that there's any weather in San Diego, but we used to say that we walked up uphill both ways in the snow, but it never even rains in San Diego, so that was a joke. But, so this explains my mother in a nutshell. She drove us to school one time. We moved schools, and started a new school. It was always our life. The Navy kids, every 2 years, we had a new school, but this one was different because there was 3,000 kids. It was late 60s. Everyone had long hair. We had crew cuts, braces, pretty bad. So she's dropping us off at the curb. I'm getting out of the car, and she says, "Ricky," they call me Ricky. "Ricky, you better get good grades or you're going to Vietnam." That's exactly how she was. So I got really good grades after that motivational speech, no question. But we were saved that year because we started school and this TV show comes out called The Brady Bunch. And we were like rock stars like a Kardashian for no reason. But my analogy for today is about a couple weeks ago I was in Washington, D.C. and I had some time to kill, so I went to the Air and Space Museum. And I was quite a space kid growing up. I really wanted to be an astronaut. So I walked in, I make a beeline to the Apollo 11 exhibit. Who remembered a moon landing besides me? Anybody? Where's Connie and Eric? No. Well, as I'm approaching, there's a monitor showing Neil Armstrong coming down the steps, up on the moon. Walter Cronkite's wiping his eyes. Because it was a proud day to be an American. There's no question about it. I remember laying in front of the television like a foot away, watching. So, John, my analogy for tomorrow is you can take one small step for John and one giant leap for the Taylor and Brady families. And now we're one big family with a little stop in the middle in Pittsburgh somewhere. We got both those covered. We're going to get the best things that come from a marriage, which is grandchildren. Because I got the three best right over here. So I'm looking forward to see John Jr. someday. It's almost certain. Yeah, tomorrow, like this is my duty tonight. Tomorrow the big bills arrive and Kathy's. Yeah, John's evolved a lot in the last couple of years. Originally I said the analogy was this Triple Crown, whereas 1973 Secretariat won the Triple Crown. First race is Kentucky Derby. John's Kentucky Derby was moving to Maine. Because in 2020 I told him, "John, you're moving to Maine." I said, "You'll have a house someday because it's affordable." And now he has a house someday. The next race is the Belmont. And that's when he met Aaron. He calls me, he says, "Dad, I found a girl. She's the one." And when I met her, I said, "Yeah, you're right." And then tomorrow is Preakness. Like I said 55 days ago, just don't fall off the horse, John. Mitch, wear those cuffs. Take care of this for me. So, John, I gotta say something about John real quick. I know this is what longer than I wanted, but he's just a great young man. He's the kindest person to meet. He's extremely compassionate, empathetic to a fault. He wears his heart on his sleeve. That's what I love about him. But he's also changing, so where's Becky? You should be sitting down in this one. John is no longer a Democrat.
Oh.
Maybe, I guess, in like 24 hours from now, you're going to be Brady. So, welcome to the Brady Bunch. Now it's your turn to endure the Brady Bunch jokes.
I'm ready.
I've had more than 1 million. I've stopped counting. So, thank you all for coming. Becky's going to say a few words. Come on up. I did have to bribe my assistant.
Yes.
The next Barbie is here right now.
Hey everybody, I'm Becky, John's mom, and Aaron. I couldn't be happier to welcome you to the family and all the Taylors, and so happy that the Taylors and Bradys are going to be one family.
Oh, God.
Never happened before. Anybody else want to say anything? John, want to get up?
Thank you so much, guys. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Haley?
Haley, any last words?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It'll all be done. Sunday. Sunday's another day. That's all I gotta say. Love you.
Thank you, Jill. Yeah, tomorrow won't be perfect, because it never is. It'll appear perfect to everybody else. So, I know it's see Karen back there. Get up here, Karen. Gio wants to say something. I was going to say, I forgot this. Where's Ganis?
Janice. Oh my gosh. Good man.
Where's Crystal? Because I forgot to say, people came a long ways to come here tonight. We're represented by Austria and Lebanon, right over here. There you go. I got you in. Was that nickname Skunky? What was that?
Long story. Long.
Who you want to hear? All right, well, I got to invite this guy up, even if he doesn't want to. Actually, they're brothers. John and Ben.
Is that you, John?
John and Ben. They have the greatest shirts I've ever seen. I gotta say. Oh, here he comes. San Diego's best bartender.
All right, Gio.
Also, Bruno Mars.
I'm glad you remembered it.
Yeah, love you. Love you, everybody. Just saying.
Yeah, well, the bar was supposed to close at 5, but I extended it to 6. I said, can we drink everything in there? We prepaid for it. So Zach, get on it. Take all your movie star friends over there. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Bill and Kathy, for inviting us to the Brady family. All right. Thank you. All right, bye. Thank you.
Aaron and John.